What is going on, everyone? Jeremy here from MTG headquarters, and it's getting kind of late. It's 9 o'clock at night, but I had planned on shooting a video talking about returning to Magic the Gathering. It's a game that I myself have quit and returned to probably 2 or 3 times, maybe more, and many of you out there have also quit and returned to the game. A week doesn't go by where I don't get someone asking me to do a guide for returning to Magic the Gathering. So this Sunday I was doing some spring cleaning, and while I was walking around the house or in between cleaning jobs, I took some time to jot down some notes about returning to the game. And I thought maybe I would turn it into a bit of an infographic so people could use this over time. So I definitely welcome your feedback because this is a living document. It's located on the MTG headquarters website, so I'm going to drop a link in the description below where you can review it, and you can also download this as a PDF for the low price of $0. Just please feel free to give me feedback. And also I'm curious if there's other guides you want to see. One that I thought would be kind of interesting is actually a guide on how to quit Magic the Gathering. I know it seems kind of funny, but it's an interesting thing. There's a good way to quit the game, and then there's a bad way to quit the game. For example, letting emotions get the best of you and just selling off your entire collection would be something I don't recommend. But let's look at the chart, and then we'll kind of discuss it. I think there's 3 main paths. And again, this isn't like the stone cold only way to return to the game. It's meant to help you. So let's start off with what I would consider the highly competitive path. This is someone who wants to top 8 a GP, will love to go pro, and they dream of winning a huge event. You likely play standard, modern, and maybe additional formats, but these are the formats you would normally play. I would start by researching the new cards. A site like Mythic Spoiler, YouTube.com, or a lot of Magic YouTubers, other than me, who do a lot of standard in-depth card analysis, and check with friends on what's going on in the game. The next thing I would do is research the meta. These are sites that I don't often use, but sites like MTG Goldfish, Star City Games, and Channel Fireball feature a lot of content written by pros or high-level players, and Goldfish is a great way to look at what's going on in the meta. What are the decks that are winning? And you can quickly get together some deck lists that you may want to use at your next event. Then you want to find a local game store. Use locator.wizards.com. Find your most reasonable FNM to start attending. Maybe go scope out the store and see what's going on. Then you want to decide on a deck. Be aware of what's rotating in, what's rotating out, and anything that may have been banned recently. But then you want to purchase your singles. Highly competitive players, they purchase singles. They don't crack packs to make their decks. And so you could use your LGS, or on this document I mentioned TCG Player, although now I highly recommend eBay or Amazon for singles for a wide variety of reasons that I may go into in a different email or a different video. But I highly recommend eBay and Amazon.com for singles. You get great pricing, the same customer protection. In fact, I would venture to say that both eBay and Amazon are better than TCG Player at protecting customers. And then you kind of want to start grinding, right? You want to commit to regular FNM attendance. Maybe there's another night of the week where they have standard or modern. You want to commit to weekly testing, attending PTQs, RPTQs. You may strongly want to consider investing in a second copy of the deck that you want to play so that you can grind on MTGO, because for all its flaws, Magic the Gathering Online actually offers a really great way to test and stay abreast of what's going to see what's going on with the meta. Now, I will say MTGO can often be very different than what you see at your local game store, but it's still a great way to get a lot of games in really fast against other competitive players. The daily events are a great place to test your deck. Then you want to really focus on incremental improvements. Review tournament results weekly. You want to watch things like the Pro Tour, GPs if they have coverage. Review the meta weekly. Consider testing again online. Get more games. I mean, there are places like Xmage and things like that, but I think the purest form of competition is going to come on MTGO currently. And you want to make tweaks to your deck. Tweak your sideboard, tweak your main deck, and that's happening every week based on the meta. Now, the second tier is mildly competitive. This is actually based on your feedback. This is something that I added because I think it actually relates to even a player like me. I don't play often, but when I play, I'd like to win. It's not everything, but still, when I'm in the game, I'm playing to win. And I realize that actually probably represents a lot of constructed players. This is standard, this is modern type players. And the path isn't all that different. So you're mildly competitive. Sorry, I'm kind of stuffy. I don't know, it's allergies up this week, but mildly competitive, or a casual tryhard as I would call him. You like to win your drafts. You enter GP to win, but losing is fine. This is like what I would compare to when I was at GP Milwaukee. I was playing sealed. I had played pretty good early. I wanted to win, but the second I was statistically eliminated, I was fine to just go play some side events. You play any format you like, and winning is great, but it's not your sole reason for playing. The rest of this is pretty similar. You want to research the new cards. Maybe you spend more time on YouTube because you're not hyper competitive. You might look at some top 8 deck lists over on Goldfish, Star City Games, Channel Fireball. Not sponsored by any of these people. In fact, I don't care for just about any of them. But the articles are fine. So you want to understand the meta. Again, you want to find your local game store. Purchase singles for your deck because, I mean, the mildly competitive, I think, is more likely to continue to buy boosters, maybe here and there, but still, it's the most efficient way to spend your money. And then start playing. So you attend FNM when you can. Now, missing an FNM isn't the end of the world. You attend things like pre-release, game days, GP events, things that are competitive but still would have a lot of casual players in them. Again, here, incremental improvements. If you're going to go to FNM, if you're going to commit the money to a standard or modern deck, you definitely still want to take some time each week to review tournament results, review the meta, consider testing online if you can afford it, and get more games in, as well as tweaking your deck. Now, the third column is really where I would probably put myself if I'm being fair. And we are the ones that actually support Magic the Gathering. We're the ones that buy boosters. We're the ones that buy fat packs. We're the ones that buy Planeswalker decks. And mostly, this is you, my subscribers. A lot of people that subscribe to me tell me all the time that they do it because they like watching me open booster packs. And so this is a lot of you. And we leave and we come back to the game as life dictates. And so our path is a little bit different. So casual player, you attend FNM here and there. You go to pre-release and you have fun regardless. You don't hate winning, of course, but you just go to get the new cards and you like opening up the packs a little early. You like to play things like EDH, Cube, and you dabble in some constructed formats. Maybe you play Kitchen Table. Where I would recommend starting for this player is starting out with Magic Duels. It's free. It's on Xbox One, iOS, and Windows. And I provided a link there where you can download it. It's a great way to get used to the new mechanics and to get a good taste of the new cards at your own pace. You can even play it, hopefully we'll be able to play it mobily. But it's good to jump in. Every time a new version of Duels comes out, I still jump in and check it out, even though I do it to, one, review it for the channel, but I also like playing Duels, and hopefully it continues to get better. Then you want to find a local game store, again, using the locator. Now, if you don't have one, maybe you just go buy cards at a big box store. But you want to buy cards first. I'm sorry, I skipped that. I think when you're coming back to the game, people ask me this question all the time. They ask me, what should I buy? I'm coming back to the game. What should I buy? And I always try to think like, well, what's the best use of their money? Okay, well, singles is probably the best use of their money, but I know most casual players like myself, buying singles is no fun. It's just not for me. Unless I'm, building constructed deck, I will buy singles. That still doesn't make it fun. So I think there's a couple products for us casual players that are a great way to get back into the game. One is the Planeswalker decks. I think they're a huge improvement over intro packs. And depending on when you're getting back into the game, there may be historically, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different ones to choose from. You could pick up a couple of them. They're right around $20. I'll link some in the description below. The important thing here is you get a deck that's pre-built. You get a couple of fun cards. If you buy 2 of them, you have decks that you can automatically face off in. It's just a great way to jump back into the game. The other thing that I really like is Deck Builder's Toolkits. Here you get a nice pool of cards. It's right around the $20 range. I'll leave a link for those too. It's right around the $20 range. You get a couple boosters from the new sets, and then you also get these kind of multi-card packs, and you can get right into having fun building your decks. Again, the best combination. If I were going to spend $100, okay, if we're going to spend $100, here's what I would do. I'd buy a couple of Planeswalker decks, maybe 2 or 3 of them. I'd buy a Deck Builder's Toolkit, and I'd buy a Fat Pack. That's what I do. And then, you can you can kind of mix it up however you like. But either way, I think if you're a casual player coming back to the game, you want to look at Deck Builder's Toolkits, Planeswalker decks, Fat Packs, and if you have a big budget, booster boxes are fine. When I got back into the game the third time, I had established myself. I have 2 full-time jobs. So the first thing I did is I went into my local game store, TK Games. Now it's now called that. Back then it was called something else. And I bought like 10 booster boxes, I think, over a couple of days. I think I went back twice in the same day, and I just kept ripping packs because there was like 5 or 6 sets in Standard at that time, and I just wanted to get the cards. I wanted to collect the cards. So buying cards in Standard was fine. Now, buying booster boxes isn't for everyone. Not everyone can even afford to do that. In fact, as I'm recording this video, I really can't afford to go buying booster boxes anymore, at least hopefully temporarily. So I think if you had to spend $100, Deck Builder's Toolkits, Planeswalker decks, and Fat Packs are a fine place to start. And you can also get these if you don't have a local game store. You can find these at any big box store, Walmart, Target, Amazon, whatever. Then you want to find a play group. Now, maybe you don't play at your local game store if you're casual. Maybe you want to search around on Facebook groups or ask around at your local game stores. Maybe you want to show up on a Friday night Magic and just introduce yourself to people and ask them, hey, do you have an EDH group, or do you have, a less competitive group of players that you can introduce me to? Most local game stores, like if they're anything like mine, they know exactly who to introduce you to. They know exactly who's a casual player, and they'll introduce you. And that's how you can get back into the game. And again, as a casual player, having fun. The most appealing part of not having to worry about the hyper-competitive environment is that you get to focus completely on having fun. And that's really, even though I like to draft, and I draft competitively, I still am really just trying to have fun. Maybe I'll get a cool pull, and that'll save it. I'm looking forward to drafting Modern Masters. I know I won't draft well at it because I haven't really looked at the format that much. But, maybe I'll open a Tarmogoyf. And maybe once in 3 drafts I'll open a Tarmogoyf, and then I'll pay for my first 2 drafts or something like that. There's a lot of ways that you can play the game and have fun. Pre-release is another thing that any casual player, if you're thinking about getting back into the game, look at when the next pre-release is and attend it. Players there are always super nice. It's a non-hyper-competitive environment in most local game stores. And you get to learn the new cards. You get cards from the latest set. You get to automatically meet people. In my pre-release events, there's always 40, 50, 60 people. And if you just put yourself out there, you're going to meet 5 or 6 people just like you. And it's like, bam, instant play group. So I think this chart would cover most of you out there, most potential returning Magic players. I'm going to leave it up on the website forever. Based on your feedback in the comment section down below, I'll make tweaks to it. And again, if you'd like to see another flow chart like this, I would love to build a deck that any new returning or leaving Magic players or players that want to get into a certain format, maybe EDH, maybe I can bring on some experts things like that. Definitely share your opinions in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and we'll talk to you again real soon.